Becoming a homeowner is a process that a lot of people look forward to, but who you invite into your home is an important thing to keep in mind.
According to Maine landlord-tenant law, if you take on a roommate, even for a few days, they can technically become a tenant, complicating an eviction process. News Center Maine's Pearl Small introduces us to a woman who is trying to close her late mother's estate, but her mother's roommates are preventing her from finishing the process.
That's my mom and me.
For nearly 5 years, Karen Mary Chabot lived on Veteran Court in Waterville.
She was a great person.
In July, when Chabot passed away, her estate was left to her only child, Jessica Ashman.
I loved her, and I'm heartbroken about what's happened.
Ashman says when she drove up to the home to take care of her mother's belongings, she found out 2 other people had been living there. Since she couldn't afford to keep the house, her only option was to sell it, and she asked those people to make other living arrangements.
And they said that they were not going to leave, that I have no choice but to take them to court.
According to her mother's financial records, Laura Conley had been living there as a tenant at will, and another man was there as her guest. But Conley stopped paying rent back in January. So Ashman went through the process to formally evict her, but says Conley is still refusing to leave.
Hello?
Hi, is this Laura?
Through a brief phone call, Conley says she had an agreement with Chabot and wants her day in court. Ashman says the whole process has been grueling and expensive.
And I also live in low-income housing, so this is affecting me profusely because I don't have money to pay my rent.
I think the court process is really necessary.
Maureen Boston with Pine Tree Legal Assistance says becoming a landlord can be a burden, especially if you didn't choose to be one. But she says the eviction process is built this way for a reason.
The consequences are dire for tenants. Homelessness has serious effects on families.
In order to protect tenants from being unfairly thrown out, Boston says they need to be given the chance to defend themselves. So as Ashman waits to give Conley that chance before a judge, she can't help but feel her justice is being stripped from her.
No, this is what they handed to me after I discovered my mom's room had been cleaned out. So I want to see something change in Maine to protect our older people from people who take advantage of them.
The system designed to protect people is the same one Ashman feels did the opposite for her mother and her family. In Waterville, Pearl Small, News Center, Maine.
Ashman has a court date with her mother's tenants later this month.